The Space Intelligence Trading Tower is located in a unique spatial area within the Great Thousand Worlds. This place is teeming with magical beasts, demons, and monsters, with countless powerful beings roaming around. Yet, in this peculiar void stands a magnificent building nearly 1,000 feet tall, remaining steadfast at the peak of this space, unyielding and unmoving. Around the building, vast and awe-inspiring patterns swirl out like strokes of divine artistry, sealing it in an impregnable protective barrier. The atmosphere is grand and imposing, making it clear that it was crafted by the hands of an extraordinarily powerful entity. No matter how rampant and arrogant the demons and monsters in this void may be, they dare not cause trouble within the Intelligence Trading Tower. This is because the family that controls this towering structure is one of the most well-known families in the Great Thousand Worlds, the Cassel family. The Cassel family is a super clan renowned for its fierce bloodline. Not only is the family's direct lineage immensely powerful, but even the number of its vassal members has spread throughout the Great Thousand Worlds. Everywhere in this vast realm, there are intelligence agents dispatched by their family. The family has a strict rule. Any vassal trying to join must undergo a life-or-death trial. They are either sent to the territories of extraterritorial evil clans to gather intelligence, or to places where survival is nearly impossible. These trials are vicious beyond measure. The places where such trials are held are known for being 9 parts deadly, with only those who survive being recognized by the family and accepted as vassals. These survivors become hidden blades for the Cassel family, enjoying countless conveniences while remaining cloaked in secrecy. The principle of survival of the fittest is maximized within this family. Countless people strive to join, so the family's population is vast. While most are mere secondary vassals, the true decision-making and management power remains firmly in the hands of the core family members, which is why the family's influence is so enormous. Ange, the 4th son of the current Cassel family patriarch, ranks 2nd among the siblings. His elder brother tragically died in a life-or-death trial, while his 3rd and 4th brothers are considered dull-witted. As for the other members, they were occupied with guarding ancient relics and engaging in multiple conflicts with the extraterritorial evil clans, which further solidified their family's presence. His siblings perished while protecting him in the battlefield, leaving only a handful of survivors. After enduring rigorous trials and receiving guidance from powerful individuals, Ange has now completely taken control of the Intelligence Trading Tower, his strength and position elevating him to one of the most powerful figures in the entire Great Thousand Worlds. Ange of the Cassel family has become a symbolic figure for the family. Yet, despite all his achievements, he is still only a few hundred years old, and his power and methods have forced even the strongest to bow in quiet submission. Second brother, up ahead is the Intelligence Trading Tower. However, we need to make sure we have enough money or equivalent items for trade. After all, the more confidential pieces of intelligence are not something the family will reveal easily. The exchange items are highly valuable. Moreover, it's said that the current head of the trading tower is a one-armed man with both wind and thunder attributes. Even some reincarnation-level experts must treat him with respect. On the vast plaza outside the Space Intelligence Trading Tower, this is a time-space wormhole constructed by the Cassel family using the power of reincarnation. Countless powerful individuals from across the Great Thousand Worlds can reach this place through special means to buy the intelligence they need. Of course, the prerequisite is having enough leverage. Xiao Yin and Little Li passed through the wormhole and arrived on the plaza in an instant. The vast plaza stretched out before them, and the shimmering ground seemed to release waves of strange energy, clearly indicating its exceptional nature. Looking up, they saw the building in the distance, which was so vast it seemed to extend for miles. Its sheer size was staggering, and standing beneath it, the people walking around felt as small as ants. It looks like this family's power is not to be underestimated. The subtle fluctuations I feel from this tower could rival the strength of the Grand Elder, and some of the faint auras even surpass his. Not even the Grand Elder could compare to them. Xiao Yin nodded, then followed Little E toward the plaza's exit, heading for the entrance of the trading tower. This time was of the essence, and Xiao Yin couldn't afford to waste any. With just over 2 years left, He had to gather all the materials needed to refine the pill for devouring the third sacred flame. On top of that, the repair of the god-slaying ruler was pressing, and his search for reincarnation could not wait either. These three matters weighed heavily on his mind, each like a mountain bearing down on him, and he could not afford to delay. "Welcome to the Cassel Family Intelligence Trading Tower," a kindly old man greeted as Xiao and Little E prepared to leave the space plaza. The man slowly approached and stood before them. "Sir, may I ask?" Xiao stopped Little E and asked, sensing no malice from the man, but still feeling a sense of unease. "Are you two visiting for the first time?" the old man asked with a smile. "There are quite a few rules here." With a smile on his face, he spoke. "In that case, I'll have to trouble you, old sir." Xiao nodded, then waved to Little E, signaling her to follow. The three of them immediately headed toward the trading pavilion. "Stop! Where did this thing behind you come from? Who are you?" Just as Xiao and the others were about to turn around and leave, a cold snort filled with killing intent shot toward them from the distant square. It transformed into a gray sword shadow, sparkling like a sky full of stars, and instantly rushed toward Xiao. Crack! Faced with this level of attack, Xiao sharply turned his head, raised his finger, and a deep cyan flame flickered at his fingertip. In an instant, he crushed the incoming attack with ease. How is this possible? Seeing this, a voice of astonishment rang out. Reincarnation? Xiao turned toward the voice and soon saw a man, about the same age as himself, staring at him with an extremely peculiar expression, especially when his gaze fell on the eternal ruler strapped to Xiao's back. Dressed in a blue robe with a thin frame, his face, which appeared somewhat veiled, seemed to carry a certain special emotion. Even the sword sheath on his back hummed and trembled, with overwhelming battle intent surging out. Thump, thump, thump. At this moment, Xiao's eternal ruler also seemed to respond to some kind of calling, and began to hum as well. What's going on? Xiao was momentarily stunned, sensing a fiery fluctuation emanating from the eternal ruler. Xiao, this is the territory of our Cassel family. You'd better restrain yourself. The elderly man, Xiao, changed his expression drastically and said coldly, "Kid, who exactly are you? How do you possess such a strange ruler? Tell us your background." However, Xiao acted as though he hadn't heard Xiao's warning, stepping closer to Xiao, his surroundings vibrating with a hum, as if countless sword shadows were emerging. The overwhelming aura he gave off caused the entire square to become restless. What's this? Do you need to verify your identity just to buy information here? Sir, don't you think so? Xiao ignored him and instead turned his attention to a shadow hidden in the void in the distance. Using his soul perception and recalling what Little E had just mentioned, Xiao realized that this hidden figure was likely the true owner of the information trading pavilion. Hee, don't be angry, gentlemen. Harmony brings wealth. The man with the severed arm, who had been hiding in the back, appeared somewhat startled by Xiao's words but quickly grinned and walked toward them. Before the man with the severed arm could finish speaking, a fierce wind and thunderous presence filled the air, causing the atmosphere in the square to quiet down immediately. Peak reincarnation stage? Xiao and the others were slightly startled. Master of the pavilion. Seeing this, Xiao's expression turned respectful, and he bowed deeply. This pavilion master was the current true leader of the trading pavilion, someone who was rarely seen. How did he find the time to come here today? But without a doubt, anyone personally greeted by the pavilion master must be an influential figure from the great thousand worlds. Uncle Li, you can leave. These two are my responsibility now. The man with the severed arm waved his hand and spoke. I am Leonhard of the Cassel family. If you wish to resolve your questions, follow me. Xiao, the sword maniac. Xiao, lord of the boundless fire domain. The elven race. Truly three interesting individuals, quite interesting. After speaking, Leonhardt's body radiated intense wind and thunder energy, and he stepped toward the interior of the trading pavilion. Sword maniac? Could it be the famous sword domain from the human realm? Upon hearing this, Little Yi's eyes narrowed sharply. Sword domain? Xiao Yin asked with some confusion. Big brother, the overall strength of sword domain may be similar to our fire spirit clan, but the domain's leader is a master of sword intent and is quite terrifying. He could potentially challenge the Great Thousand, Little Yi explained. Afterward, Li Tianxiao, Xiao Yin, and Little Yi followed him into the trading pavilion. At the grandiose top floor of the trading pavilion, in a spacious hall, the three of them took their seats. Meanwhile, the pavilion master, having led them here, disappeared for a moment. The hall was very quiet. None of them showed any hostility. After all, this was someone else's territory, and it wouldn't be wise to make a move here. My apologies for the wait, gentlemen. The silence didn't last long. When the pavilion master reappeared, he held two exquisitely crafted scrolls, which were infused with an enormous amount of soul power. Even Xiao Yan's soul power couldn't probe them at all. Pavilion master, what game are you playing here? The sword practitioners should not be troubled by worldly matters, but the strange ruler on Xiao Yan's body gave him an overwhelming sense of bewilderment. This was the reason why the usually proud Li Tianxiao had acted as he just did, trying to provoke the ancient ruler with his own power, leading to a fierce confrontation. His understanding of sword intent was still not fully developed, so he had been expelled from the sword domain by its master, who claimed it was for the purpose of honing his sword intent. Left with no other choice, Li Tianxiao had come here to gather some intelligence about sword intent. Sword domain, sword fanatic Li Tianxiao. Endless fire domain Xiao Yin. If I'm not mistaken, both of you are here for the same purpose, said Pavilion Master Li with a particularly broad smile, clearly having figured out the backgrounds of the two from their brief disappearance. Oh. As soon as Pavilion Master Li finished speaking, Xiao Yin and Li Tianxiao's gazes once again met. Li Tianxiao's strength was barely at the reincarnation stage, still far from the peak of reincarnation or the first-tier stage. However, the rusty iron sword on his back exuded an invisible yet astonishing aura, as if the mere presence of this sword held a terrifying and awe-inspiring power. Master Li, let's not beat around the bush. Please, be direct. Li Tianxiao was clearly somewhat stunned by the situation and couldn't help but ask. You are both heading to the Buddhist realm Zenland. This friend of yours is also going to the Buddhist realm. Pavilion Master Li was straightforward and didn't try to hide anything, revealing it immediately. This guy really has some strength. At this moment, Xiao Yin no longer had any doubts about Pavilion Master Li. He had mastered such hidden information, and this space intelligence trading hall truly lived up to its reputation. But why did Pavilion Master Li say that Xiao Yin was heading to the Buddhist realm? Even Goddess Yaoji hadn't made that clear. Could it be that the ancient artifact smiths were in the Buddhist realm? These are the intelligence scrolls you both need. Pavilion Master Li laughed heartily, shaking the two scrolls in his hand as he spoke softly. The three remained silent. Pavilion Master Li's enthusiasm was unexpected, leaving them pleasantly surprised. Was there something he wanted from them? Don't misunderstand, Pavilion Master Li continued. This is just a small gesture from me. I simply wish to get to know both of you. With that, the two scrolls landed in Xiao Yan's and Li Tianxiao's hands simultaneously. Someone, take them to the entrance of the Buddhist realm's dimensional portal. After finishing everything, Pavilion Master Li said no more, and with a wave of his hand, two elders emerged from the hall. Thank you, Pavilion Master Li. After Xiao Yin and Li Tianxiao expressed their thanks, they followed the elders toward the entrance to the Buddhist realm. As for the intelligence scrolls, Xiao Yin didn't rush to open them. The situation was still unclear, and there was no need to be hasty. It seems this space intelligence trading hall is able to stand firm because of Pavilion Master Li's efforts. Still, this doesn't concern us. I'm actually happy to help. Xiao Yin mumbled to himself as he stepped into the Buddhist realm, knowing that repairing the god-slaying ruler was an urgent task. Since the Space Intelligence Trading Hall was located within the Great Thousand Worlds, it had constructed portals to the various realms. However, if outsiders entered without sufficient strength, they could easily be expelled or even killed. For someone like Xiao Yin, who had enough power to protect himself, these were minor issues. Pavilion Master, do you think this is too risky? Such high-level intelligence is something our family's disciples obtained after much hardship. You just gave it away so easily? After Xiao Yan and Liaocheng left, several pale-faced elders emerged from the hall, their faces stern as they questioned the Pavilion master. The two intelligence scrolls just given away were of equal value to immortal arts or Do technique scrolls, yet Pavilion Master Li had handed them over so casually? Elders, your vision is too narrow. The sword domain is one of the top forces in the human realm. Liaocheng has received the true teachings of the sword domain's master. His future achievements are limitless. Pavilion Master Li said with a faint smile. And Xiao Yan? The endless fire domain is still too low level. After all, it's a new force. It won't be long before it's completely wiped out by the other continents of the human realm. Some elders couldn't help but worry. Have you ever seen a human with 5 sacred flames inside them? Throughout history, aside from the Holy King and a few other powerful individuals, who else could do that? I've made up my mind. There's no need to discuss it further. In the future, you'll understand. Xiao Yan and Little E stepped into the void leading to the Buddhist realm, while Liaocheng took a separate path. Although their destination was the same, the paths diverged. RIP. After a day, Xiao Yan and Little E safely arrived in the Buddhist realm. Upon entering the Buddhist realm, everything around them seemed completely different. The towering Buddha statues within the temple were a refreshing sight, leading one deep into the Buddhist realm. Waves of salvation and rebirth, originating from the soul, filled the air. There was no hustle and bustle of deceit and intrigue from the great thousand worlds. Instead, the gentle chanting of scriptures, mixed with the fragrance of incense, resonated in the ears. Second brother, let's check the intelligence scroll first. At the corner of the mountains, Little E couldn't help but speak up. Who knows why these Buddhist temples always choose to set up their sanctuaries deep in the mountains and forests? The path was riddled with countless traps, forcing travelers to rely on the most primitive means, walking on foot. Once they ascended into the air, the ancient sounds of scripture chanting filled their minds, making the Do Chi within their bodies tremble violently. Artifact Smith's location, Master Liaocheng of the Temple of Liaocheng. It's said that Master Liaocheng is very reclusive, and no one has ever been able to seek help successfully. The temple is located deep within the Buddha realm, in a place called the Forest of Bodhi Tribulation. It is rumored that the Forest of Bodhi Tribulation is home to monks who have transcended their tribulations. In the mountains and forests, there are faint sounds of morning bells and evening drums, and the endless, mysterious ancient scriptures reverberate, calming the heart and elevating the body and soul. Gently using his soul power to open the intelligence scroll, some ancient words appeared, deeply piercing Xiao Yan's nerves. Clearly, the strong person who forged this scroll had a soul power far more terrifying than Xiao Yan's. Forest of Bodhi Tribulation? I wonder if it can help me enter true reincarnation. Moreover, this time, restoring the divine weapon cannot be delayed. Xiao Yan lifted his gaze and, with profound soul power, pierced through the mountains. He vaguely saw a quiet temple deep within the forest, surrounded by incense smoke, clearly with a thriving worship. The surrounding woods were lush, with bamboo groves circling it, a truly mysterious place. Let's go. The destination is just ahead. But the construction of the mountain temple here is extremely profound, forming hidden, ancient formations. Is it an illusion? As the words left his mouth, the two began walking toward the deep mountains. However, due to the temple's secluded location, they saw no sign of anyone along the way. Though they couldn't break through the void, for two powerful beings at the reincarnation stage, the seemingly distant journey would only take a few hours of walking. In the depths of the Forest of Bodhi Tribulation, the Temple of Liaocheng stood quietly. Its grandeur was overwhelming, filling the air with an awe-inspiring reverence. At this moment, in the main hall of the temple, golden Buddhist light flickered. Before a Buddha statue, a monk appeared. The monk wore a cyan robe, and there was no fluctuation of power around him. His eyes were half closed, and in his palm, he was holding a string of prayer beads engraved with countless intricate patterns. His lips gently whispered some ancient Buddhist chants, as if praying or perhaps waiting for something. Oh my Padme-H. Within the main hall of the temple, the Buddha statue in the center suddenly released an immense light, illuminating and enveloping the entire temple. Liaocheng, the dust of worldly matters is ancient. It's time to seek refuge in the Buddhist teachings. The Buddha's voice whispered, yet it resonated like the sound of countless deities throughout the heavens, freezing the surrounding air. The terrifying pressure was as unmatched as the power of the heavens. My Buddha is merciful, but the worldly matters are not yet resolved. How can I enter the Buddhist path? Reincarnation of past lives, this time, I have finally waited. At that moment, the monk suddenly opened his eyes, tightened the prayer beads in his hand, and a tone full of the vicissitudes of life emerged, like the vast stars. Master Liaocheng, someone is here to visit. At that moment, a small Buddhist disciple entered, clasping his hands in prayer and then speaking. Clearly, the temple's flourishing incense was maintained by several small Buddhist disciples. Take me there. The monk stood up and spoke, as if making a decision. They are waiting in the back room. Please, Master, follow me. After a brief exchange, the two headed toward the rear of the temple. Second brother, this temple always makes me feel uneasy. Little E sat at a wooden table, gently pursing her lips. For some reason, the atmosphere here, aside from the ancient Buddhist chants, also carried some extremely odd aura. Creak. The tightly shut wooden door was gently pushed open. Master Liaocheng. Xiao stood up first, smiling. The faint aura of detachment from the monk was unmistakable. He was undoubtedly a person of great wisdom. According to the intelligence scroll, Master Liaocheng had been a top-tier artifact smith before he became a monk. No one knew why he had chosen to renounce the world and take refuge in the Buddhist teachings. Benefactor, I know your intentions. But let me ask you first, what is Buddhism? Master Liaocheng's gaze locked on Xiao. The man did not have a single trace of Do Qi in him, but it gave Xiao an uncomfortable feeling. How many true Buddhas are there in the Buddhist realm now? Master Liaocheng did not directly answer Xiao's question, but instead asked one of his own. In the Great Thousand Worlds, the gods and Buddhas are innumerable, including the demon Buddha from the demon realm, Mo2A. Buddhism. A Buddha can be made the moment a monk who has attained the supreme Buddhist teachings ascends. Xiao nodded, clearly having learned quite a bit about the Buddhist teachings from Little Yi's explanation. The Buddha has a Dharma body, a Dharma image, and a body image united as one. Only then can one attain the supreme Buddhahood, Master Liaocheng explained. Master Liaocheng, to be frank, we have come here with the purpose of repairing a divine weapon. We hope you will assist us, Xiao said quickly, sensing Master Liaocheng's approving look, trying to push things forward. Bring it out, Master Liaocheng said. Glug. Xiao shifted the ancient ruler from his back and handed it over. At that moment, Master Liaocheng's usually calm eyes showed a rare trace of aging sorrow, mist swirling within his gaze. Master Liaocheng, do you recognize this item? Xiao thought to himself. Or is it related to the Holy King? Seeing Master Liaocheng's reaction, Xiao couldn't help but secretly click his tongue and speculated. Who would have thought that you would acquire it? Master Liaocheng muttered. It is indeed a sign of the Buddha's compassion. Master Liaocheng held the ancient ruler in his hands, reluctant to let go. His fingers tightened around the artifact, causing the 7 sacred holes in the ruler to tremble slightly under the pressure of his aged palms. I have been a monk for 1,000 years, and I no longer concern myself with worldly matters. But, seeing that you are an old acquaintance, I will make an exception this time, Master Liaocheng said, nodding with satisfaction and smiling. That's wonderful. I thank you, Master, for your kindness. Xiao replied, feeling a surge of joy. It seemed that Master Liaocheng knew the ancient ruler well, and his connection to the Holy King must be deep. Otherwise, this journey wouldn't have been so smooth. Repairing a divine weapon is no easy task. But don't rejoice too early, because repairing this item still lacks one very important thing. Master Liaocheng suddenly spoke, his tone lingering with something unsaid. Lacking something crucial? Xiao looked at Master Liaocheng with suspicion, but after sensing him, he couldn't detect any deception. There were very few who still knew how to repair divine weapons from the ancient era. Finding someone like Master Liaocheng was like finding a needle in a haystack. Now that he had finally found him, it seemed he had no choice but to trust the man. This ruler may look ordinary, but inside, it contains many vast and ancient runic structures. Even with my strength, I cannot repair it perfectly. However, I am willing to do my best. I can repair its external parts, but even that is incredibly difficult because the materials required are extremely rare. So a very special material is needed. Meteoric star iron, Master Liaocheng said, his eyes never leaving the ancient ruler, as if he were caressing a priceless treasure. His voice was as restrained as gold. Such a level of craftsmanship, even he could not forge. But as his palm touched the ruler, the dormant heat within his body surged once more. Meteoric star iron? Xiao asked, exchanging a look with Little Li before speaking. Master, please enlighten us. With your intelligence, you must already know about the imposing mountain ranges around here, correct? Master Liaocheng said, twirling his prayer beads as he began explaining to Xiao. This is an array? Xiao asked, a sudden thought striking him. Is something being suppressed here? Master Liaocheng's gaze darkened, and he continued. The green-maned Buddhist lion is the divine beast under the seat of Manjushri Bodhisattva. After the first great battle of the heavens and earth, it remained here for some reason, guarding these mountains from endless evil and corruption. Legend has it that it guards countless treasures, but no one has ever succeeded in acquiring any, no matter how hard they tried. Meteoric star iron is one of the things guarded by the green-maned Buddhist lion. If you can retrieve it, I will have no trouble repairing the exterior of the ruler, Master Liaocheng said, his tone burning with excitement. Besides the two divine Buddhas, 6 bodhisattvas are the enlightened ones of my Buddhist sect. Manjushri Bodhisattva possesses great wisdom, and the green-maned Buddhist lion under him wields immense power. There are rumors that its roar can shatter the heart and crush the soul. Its destructive power is terrifying. It resides deep within this mountain range, in the Valley of Tribulation Forest. The Valley of Tribulation Forest is surrounded by constant thunder, and with the presence of this divine beast, we Buddhists cannot approach it. So, Master Liaocheng said, suddenly withdrawing his gaze and looking at Xiao. Master, please wait here. We will return shortly, but we need your guidance on the path. Xiao nodded, then asked. Don't worry, I will see you off, Master Liaocheng said, his body enveloped in the faint hum of Buddhist chants. Golden Buddhist light surrounded Xiao and Little E, and in an instant, they shot out of the temple like a streak of light, heading straight toward the heart of the mountains. Amitabha, may Buddha's compassion guide you, and may you grasp this opportunity, echoed the Buddha's voice, filling the entire temple and lingering for a long time. Big brother, do you think this guy is plotting against us? Little E asked cautiously. Your ancient ruler is still in his hands. As they shot forward, enveloped by the Buddha light, Little E couldn't help but ask, clearly worried. After all, the attitude of Master Liaocheng towards Xiao was drastically different from the information they had received. Don't worry. This master should have a history with the eternal ruler, and I think he's intentionally guiding us. This journey probably won't be so simple. Xiao released his soul power, constantly probing the vast mountain range. Faintly, he sensed an evil power emanating from beneath the thick mountain peaks. I've reached the peak of the reincarnation stage. To enter the true first reincarnation, I'll need some kind of opportunity. But you, Little E, are almost at reincarnation now. I wonder if this time you can fully transcend. Little E nodded, feeling relieved but still cautious. She didn't dare underestimate Xiao strength at the verge of reincarnation. With the power of the sacred flame and sacred inscription, along with his dragon god transformation, Xiao had become overwhelmingly powerful, to the point of envy. Under the Buddha light's protection, they headed toward the so-called Valley of Tribulation Forest. The vast, boundless sky brought a chilling, solemn aura that struck them, making both of them feel an unusual, rare sense of numbness in their bodies. Feeling the terrifying force, Xiao suddenly looked up, his gaze fixing on a mountain gorge below, excitement flooding his senses. We're here. After the Buddha light faded, Xiao Yin and Little Yi's bodies plummeted like meteors, heading straight for the mountain peak below. Looking up, they saw a valley surrounded by 6 towering mountain peaks. The valley itself had collapsed entirely, and golden thunder raged above it, lingering day and night. As the golden thunder flashed, a rumbling sound seemed to echo from within their hearts. The energy in the entire world seemed to be absorbed by the golden lightning, making it even more violent and unruly. Golden thunder serpents, with great intelligence, slithered through the air. Xiao Yan's gaze shifted once more to the valley below, where a grand palace, as magnificent as a heavenly palace, appeared faintly amidst swirling mists. The aura of heaven and earth pressure emanating from it struck directly at their souls. This is it. Why wait? Big brother, let's go. Little E also looked up excitedly, ready to leap from the edge of the mountain into the valley. Don't rush. This might not be as simple as it seems. Xiao Yin shook his head and stopped Little E with a raised hand. On the sharp rocks along the edge of the surrounding mountain peaks, blood was splattered on the soil and stones, and a thick, iron-like scent of blood filled the air. Some trees had cold corpses hanging from their branches, some fresh, others skeletal. What is this? Little Yi's earlier excitement was instantly replaced by alarm as her face grew serious. The green-maned Buddhist lion is a divine beast under Manjushri Bodhisattva. It's been guarding this land ever since the first heavenly battle. One purpose is to suppress the countless evils here. As for the other reason, it might not be that simple. Xiao Yin didn't act hastily. His face grew serious, and his cold eyes, filled with immense soul power, sent ripples of energy sweeping through the valley below. This place feels. Let's go. Xiao Yin turned around, about to say something more, but stopped mid-sentence. Instead, he said directly to Little E, and both of them jumped down from the mountain to the valley of tribulation forest below. Some things were just too mysterious. It seemed only by taking risks could they uncover the truth. Rumble. As soon as they moved, the golden lightning, like a lion suddenly awakened after a long sleep, surged with an intense, violent aura, binding their bodies in midair above the valley. This should be the trial to enter the valley. The power of this thunder is considerable. It's the unique thunder of the Buddha sect. Overcome it to live. Otherwise, gray lightning began to gather around Xiao Yan's body. Dark thunderclouds were forming behind him, and the buzzing sounds of energy mixing with the overwhelming pressure of heaven and earth filled the air. Otherwise, Little E shuddered with a tingle running down her spine, speaking with trepidation. The bones on the mountain peaks above, they are the warning. But this level of strength is too weak to be of much concern. Move aside. Thunder, come. A fierce, rebellious roar sounded, and a massive gray thunderbolt, 1,000 feet long, erupted from Xiao Yan's body. It shot through the air, colliding directly with the golden thunder serpent. Rumble. The gray lightning collided head-on with the golden thunder serpent, sending massive energy ripples across the valley. However, there was no explosion that rocked the space or the mountain peaks. Why is this golden thunder able to match me, when I possess the power of the Thunder Lord? Xiao Yin looked up, a rare trace of astonishment flashing in his pitch-black eyes. The gray thunder rained down like a spring, constantly flowing out, but the golden thunder seemed to ignore the obstruction of the gray bolts and directly crashed toward Xiao Yan's body. Stay back. Seeing the golden thunder, Xiao Yin suddenly had an idea, quickly shouting at Little E. His thunder attribute Do core within his body began to operate at high speed, subtly showing signs of absorbing the golden thunder. Boom, boom, boom. The golden thunder struck Xiao Yan's body, and a series of low, violent rumblings echoed. The scales of a blue dragon immediately bulged from his skin. His veins bulging out as waves of excruciating pain twisted Xiao Yan's face. Even with the protection of the Basha dragon scales, Xiao Yan's body still emitted weak signs of exhaustion. Yet, wisps of white mist still seeped out from his skin. Second brother. Seeing Xiao Yin in such agony, Little Yi's face filled with concern. However, due to Xiao Yan's orders, she could not act. She vaguely saw that the golden thunder seemed to enter the blue dragon scales on Xiao Yan's skin, ultimately being absorbed into his body, transforming into pure energy. Wait, second brother is using the golden thunder to refine his body. As Xiao Yan gathered the golden thunder from above the valley, although it triggered several terrifying muffled thunders, he appeared to be savoring the process. Boom. Crack, crack. This act of drawing the lightning into his body continued for nearly the length of an incense stick. Only after the golden thunder in the Valley of Tribulation began to dissipate did Xiao Yan, who had been in the center of the thunder explosion, emit a foul stench. If little E did not know about Xiao Yan's training in the Dragon Clan's top secret art, Dragon God transformation, she would have rushed to help, worried about any unforeseen complications. TCH, it didn't even let me fully step into reincarnation. All this talk about Buddhist thunder, it's just nonsense. The charred figure walked out from above the Valley of Tribulation, muttering incessantly. Although absorbing this thunder had some benefits, the results were barely noticeable. Huh. Little E looked at Xiao Yan in astonishment. How could one take others' thunder and then complain about it? Let's go. The thunder here is already neutralized and should be hard to form again. The Valley of Tribulation below is our real target. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, a strong force surged out, pulling little E with him as they entered the mist-filled Valley of Tribulation below. Inside the Valley of Tribulation, the dense bamboo forest spread in all directions. Even on the bamboo stalks, subtle Buddhist scriptures appeared to have been carved into them, exuding an endless aura of holiness and solemnity. However, the bamboo forest was shrouded in a strange white mist that greatly diminished their senses and vision. The air felt fresh as if an old, serene calmness filled the heart. The two of them moved sparsely, and after several minutes, they discovered that at the center of the valley, a vast palace stood quietly. Second brother. At this moment, the power of reincarnation spread from Little Yi's body, her vigilance rising as a strange solemnity filled the air. It seemed there was some terrifying creature within the palace. The invisible, horrifying aura emanating from it made Little E click her tongue in secret. Hearing this, Xiao Yan turned his gaze toward the tightly sealed palace in front of them. Flickering Buddhist light like fireflies blinked, and an ancient fluctuation surrounded the palace, sending waves of shock through them. At the same time, Xiao Yan's demonic cube began to stir within his body under the intense gaze. Puff. Simultaneously, within the ancient palace, ripples of energy spread out like waves. The ancient and mysterious fluctuations seemed to cleanse their very souls. The surrounding area of this palace has Buddhist scriptures carved into it. Even after countless years of erosion, its power is not to be underestimated. Moreover, this Buddhist light is extremely sensitive to evil auras. There are things within me that it has sensed, and that's why this strange scene occurred. Xiao Yan was forced back by the pressure of the power, several meters away. His newly formed sacred flame and shaman soul Liaocheng fire appeared once more. The new sacred flame was deep and profound, like glazed glass, containing energy that could move the heavens and earth. The strange pressure didn't continue to affect Xiao Yan. Little Yi's eyes kept darting around as she tried to open the ancient palace to find the green-maned Buddhist lion and force it to reveal the whereabouts of the meteoric star iron, hoping to help second brother restore the eternal ruler as soon as possible. Poof! Just as they were talking, the sound of an ancient bell suddenly echoed from an unknown source. Crack! With the sound of the ancient bell, the bronze Buddhist gate in front of them slowly creaked open, as if pushed from the inside. A wave of ancient, weathered energy seemed to span the river of time, slowly sweeping out from behind the bronze door. The mysterious building, which had been sealed for millennia or even longer, finally opened at this moment, exposing its full appearance to Xiao Yan and Little E. Wrapped in the amber and brown sacred flames, Xiao Yan and Little E exchanged a glance, and their do-chi surged without reservation. In an instant, a towering flame shield nearly 100 feet tall formed around them, barely resisting the Buddhist sound that tried to invade their hearts. Without the flame shield, their souls would likely have scattered under the impact of the Buddhist chant, for that ancient sound possessed the terrifying power to obliterate both body and spirit. The ancient palace's bronze Buddhist door had opened, yet nothing could be seen from the outside. Little Yi couldn't help but wait for Xiao Yan's next move. "Let's go." Xiao Yan, bold and quick-witted, activated his sacred flame and spiritual powers, forming two shackling membrane barriers around them as they carefully advanced toward the palace. Once inside, it seemed to be nothing more than a vast, empty hall. Looking around, the entire chamber was devoid of any furnishings, save for a series of exquisitely crafted bronze statues standing tall, each several dozen meters high. The statues were lifelike, their teeth as sharp as saw blades, their heads round, with their mouths slightly ajar as though roaring. Just the sight of them gave Xiao Yan and Little Yi an eerie, surreal feeling. On the walls of the hall, mysterious and incomprehensible murals were carved. Most of them depicted a lion and a refined scholar. Second brother, could this be the green-maned Buddhist lion, the divine beast under Manjushri Bodhisattva? But didn't Master Liaocheng say that this creature? Little Yi stared at the green lion statue in front of her, shaking her head in confusion. Master Liaocheng never said whether the green-maned Buddhist lion is alive or dead, Xiao Yan replied, also puzzled. The pieces just didn't seem to fit. In the Great Thousand Worlds, there were countless rumors surrounding the highest gods of the Buddhist realm, the various bodhisattvas and ancestor Bodhi. Yet even Xiao Yan didn't know if Manjushri Bodhisattva was male or female. There were just too many conflicting tales. These murals must be treasures of the Buddhist realm, recording some of the deeds of Manjushri Bodhisattva and the green-maned Buddhist lion. But why, in the final mural, is there an image of the Buddhist realm's great monk, ancestor Bodhi? The figures and identities of the individuals in the Buddhist realm were easily identifiable, as each had their own distinct forms and sacred artifacts. Xiao Yan was able to recognize them with little difficulty. The green-maned Buddhist lion roars like thunder, its eyes flashing with lightning. When it strikes, it has the terrifying power to shatter mountains and split the earth. Second brother, come look, there's a small inscription under the lion's head. Little Yi could not comprehend the murals, as they caused a dizzying sense of vertigo the moment she glanced at them, so she searched for something else. What's this? Xiao Yan walked over, carefully inspecting the inscriptions beneath the green lion statue. Hum, hum, hum. Just as they hesitated, an enraged roar shook the entire palace. The bronze Buddhist door of the palace slammed shut, and the building sealed itself once again. A violent aura began to emanate from the statue of the lion in front of them. Get ready. Xiao Yan seemed to have anticipated this. The amber flame blazed fiercely, and a powerful, unmatched aura surged as the sacred flame and flame mantra combined, demonstrating their full might. Roar. With a terrifying roar, golden energy poured from the green-maned Buddhist lion statue, like molten magma. The golden liquid spread out, and the stone lion began to melt away, revealing a shockingly lifelike green-maned lion standing before them. The overwhelming pressure and power radiating from it were extraordinary. The green-maned Buddhist lion. Little Yi's brown flames flared up, stepping forward to shield Xiao Yan, her voice cold as she prepared to take on the beast herself. The green-maned Buddhist lion, it really lives up to its reputation. But I suppose you won't be content to stay here forever, will you? Xiao Yan's sharp spiritual senses detected the vast power within the beast as it roared. This was the strength of a divine beast from the Buddhist realm, comparable to a human at the second-tier reincarnation stage. Xiao Yan paused for a moment, and naturally, he had some speculative thoughts. Boldly, he spoke out. Human, don't speak so arrogantly, or else I. The green-maned Buddhist lion had just awoken and was extremely angry. It was about to roar and obliterate both of them on the spot, but upon hearing Xiao Yan's voice, it was taken aback. Its gaze sharpened, as if it sensed an incredibly terrifying fluctuation from this seemingly weak, mere reincarnation-level being. Moreover, the words Xiao Yan spoke seemed to mirror its own situation. Whether you're speaking arrogantly or not, green-maned Buddhist lion, you should understand better than we do, shouldn't you? As a divine beast under Manjushri Bodhisattva, You were supposed to stand proudly at the center of the Buddhist realm, listening to the scriptures of the gods and Buddhas, wandering the great thousand worlds. Instead, you have been trapped here, guarding this place day in and day out, enduring endless torment. If I were you, I would leave here at any cost. Isn't a Buddhist lion something beyond mere mortal grasp? Seeing that his speculation seemed correct, Xiao casually dismissed the shimmering sacred flame on his body and walked step by step toward the massive beast. The divine beast under Manjushri Bodhisattva had long since attained great wisdom, far beyond what the demonic beasts of the demon realm or the magical beasts of the human realm could compare to. If they could sit down and converse calmly, there would be no need for any fighting. What you say is true, but the issue I'm facing is not something that your mere strength can resolve. The green-maned Buddhist lion seemed a bit moved by Xiao Yan's words. However, because of Xiao Yan's overwhelming strength, it found itself trapped in a dilemma, unable to move forward or backward. Whoosh! With a sound, the sacred flame of light appeared. The entire palace seemed to twist in the air as a dense, sacred, and scorching aura filled the space. Such terrifying sacred flame. Finally, upon seeing the glazed flame on Xiao Yan, the green-maned Buddhist lion's eyes filled with shock and even wild joy. I can help you, but in exchange, all the treasures below are mine. Xiao Yan didn't hide his intentions, speaking boldly. No, there are too many treasures down there. You can only choose 3. If you succeed, fine. If not, leave immediately. Hearing Xiao Yan's bold offer, the green-maned Buddhist lion growled coldly, clearly showing that this was the greatest concession it could make. All right, it's a deal. Xiao Yan agreed immediately. Now, perhaps you can tell me what troubles you're facing? Xiao Yan smiled and looked at the beast. Human, do you know of the demon-suppressing prison? The green-maned Buddhist lion's voice grew heavy, and after a moment of silence, it suddenly spoke again, its tone filled with a long-lost weight. Demon-suppressing prison? So, it's the demon-suppressing prison down below? Xiao Yan's eyes gleamed with excitement as he eagerly asked. The demonic cube had not yet been fully charged, but if the demon-suppressing prison was truly below, Xiao Yan was confident that he could fill the cube to its capacity. With a fully charged demonic cube, combined with his current strength, reaching the 3rd or 4th tier would make him practically invincible. This was because the demonic power would grow as his strength increased. With the power of reincarnation now, the enhancement could even reach 1 or 2 reincarnation stages. Such a boost was unprecedented. Down below is not the demon-suppressing prison, but a prison left behind by Manjushri Bodhisattva after eliminating evil. It was used to imprison an extraterritorial evil clan member at the Red King stage. This evil figure's strength is only at the 3rd reincarnation stage, but she holds the key to the pure heart. Although you possess the sacred flame, you must be cautious. If the pure heart contaminates you, you will lose your sacred flame power for a time, falling into a sealed sleep for 100 or even 1,000 years. Now all hope lies with you. The green-maned Buddhist lion spoke cautiously. Lead the way. I'll purify this evil prison. Xiao Yan nodded and, with little E by his side, they united with a common purpose. Climb onto my back. This palace connects to the bottom of the evil prison. I'll take you there, but I cannot get too close to the prison or I'll alert that person. All hope now rests on you too. The green-maned Buddhist lion seemed desperate to be freed, carrying a heavy responsibility. It knew that only by resolving this matter could it go in search of Manjushri Bodhisattva. Let's go. Xiao Yan and little E climbed onto the green-maned Buddhist lion's back. Only then did they notice that beneath its golden fur, golden Buddhist scriptures wriggled, radiating an endless Zen-like aura.